Good morning, everyone. My name is Fatima Myers, and I'm from Development Communication. Today, I will discuss about John Locke. So, expected to be discussed is John Locke's life and works, notable countries he visited and resided, his contributions, and the conclusion of the report. So, John Locke was an English philosopher and physician, widely regarded as one of the most influential of Enlightenment thinkers and commonly known as a father of liberalism. John Locke was also among the most famous philosophers and political theorists of the 17th century. John Locke Lives and Works. John Locke was born in 1632 in Rinton, a small village in southwestern England. His father, also named John, was a legal clerk and served with the parliamentary forces in the English Civil War. His family was well-to-do, but not of particularly high social or economic standing. Locke spent his childhood in the West Country and as a teenager was sent to Westminster School in London. So that is the family of John Locke. So the work of John Locke is one of his work is the essays on the law of nature. So one of his earliest substantive works was developed in the course of his teaching duties. Much of Locke's intellectual effort and energy during his time at Oxford, especially during his later years there, was devoted to the study of medicine and natural philosophy. What we call now is science. So next of his work and essay concerning human understanding. Most of his work related to policies in England's American and Caribbean colonies. Most importantly, this was the period in Locke's life when he began the project which would culminate in his most famous work, the essay concerning human understanding. The two earliest drafts of that work date from 1671. He was to continue work on his project infirmity for nearly 20 years. Enter the two treatises of government. The political science had changed greatly while Locke was away. Shaftesbury, as Ashley was now known, was out of favor, and Locke's association with him had become a liability. It was around this time that Locke composed his most famous political work, the two treatises concerning government. So next is the Spatula di Tolerancia, a letter on toleration. So he continued work on the essay. Second, he wrote a work entitled Epistola de Tolerantia, which was published anonymously in 1689. Locke was experiences in England, France, and the Netherlands convinced him that government should be much more tolerant of religious diversity than was common at that time. So fourth is the reasonableness of Christianity. In his later years, Locke devoted much of his attention to theology. His major work in his field was the reasonableness of Christianity, which is published anonymously in 1695. This work was controversial because Locke argued that many beliefs traditionally believed to be mandatory for Christians were unnecessary. So John Locke's notable country he visited and resided. So maoni mga country nga ming visit si John Locke, and diha po siya nagpuyo. So one of country na iyang gi-visit is France and Netherlands. So sa France, Locke spent several years in France during the late 1670s and early 1680s. He lived in Montpellier and Paris, where he engaged with leading intellectuals and philosophers of the time. Netherlands, Locke sought refuge in the Netherlands in 1683 due to political turmoil in England. Nagstay siya sa Netherlands for 5 years. And he also traveled to Germany. While na siya sa Netherlands, may visit siya sa Germany. And may adto po siya sa England. Locke home country was England. So sa England siya nagapuyo or dito siya gipanganak. So where he spent the majority of his life. He was born in Rington, Somerset, and later lived in London, Oxford, and various other places in England. So John Locke contributions. So one of his contribution is empiricism. Locke proposed the theory that knowledge comes from sensory experience and observation rather than innate ideas. So ang gikuanis ni Locke, one of his contribution is kanang mas gikuan niya ang mga gikan daw nga mas kuan ang knowledge is from personal, for example, from personal experience rather than sa mga kuan kanang bitaw mga idea like mga kuan lang panangdalyang idea. So second is the social contract theory. And in his two treatises of government, Locke argued that government exists by the consent of the governed, and that its purpose is to protect natural rights such as life, liberty, and property. This concept became central to the development of liberal democracy. Third is the natural rights. So Locke asserted that individuals possess certain inherent rights, including the right to life, liberty, and property. So he argued that these rights are inalienable and should be protected by government. Third is tolerance and religious freedom. Locke advocated for religious tolerance and freedom of conscience, asserting that the state should not interfere in matters of religion. His ideas on religious tolerance were influential in shaping the modern secular state. So the conclusion of this report that John Locke made a mark in philosophy and political thought. His contribution to empiricism, social contract theory, and the concept of natural rights. Locke laid the groundwork for modern democracy and liberalism. His advocacy for tolerance and religious freedom, along with his writings on education and economics, continue to shape our understanding of governance and individual liberty. So Locke's legacy through his influence on political discourse and the foundational principles of many democratic societies worldwide. So that's all, and thank you.